Hey, this is Mark with the Practical Still, and I don't know whether to call this an open the bottle or back to the bottle, but you might be asking, what in the world does a mason jar full of a eggnog-looking substance have to do with a bottle of Rebel Yell single barrel 10-year-old? Well, I'll tell you. I bought that bottle of whiskey in the summer of 2019. Should have been right up my alley. It's a wheated whiskey, decent proof at 100, single barrel offering, Lux Road product, probably sourced from somewhere else, maybe, I don't know, Barton 1792, who knows. Everything points to something I'd like. I hated that whiskey. It's one of the worst whiskeys I drank. It is a single barrel, so things can change. Maybe I just got a barrel that wasn't to my liking. Who knows? But it was terrible. On top of being almost tasteless, it felt like there just wasn't any good flavor to it. It was also in the top 3 hottest whiskeys I've ever tasted, and it's only 100 proof. I put that in the same category as the 1792 full proof, that if you've watched that video, you know I just didn't like it. And the hottest whiskey I ever tasted was a Jack Daniel's single barrel offering. The difference there was not only was it hot, it was really good. It was delicious. The Rebel Yell, not. So I used it in eggnog. And in September of 2019, I made up a big batch of eggnog based on a recipe I got from Alton Brown. It called for bourbon, brandy, and rum. I didn't have quite enough rum to meet the recipe, so I just added some more of the bourbon. I didn't have quite enough brandy, so I added some more bourbon. So there's a lot of bourbon in here. And according to Alton, this stuff can age nearly indefinitely because the alcohol content is so high, it heads off any sort of bacterial issue you might have in a dairy product that has been sitting in my refrigerator for now 15 or 16 months. And that's what a jar of eggnog has to do with the bottle of whiskey. So it's all sealed up. It's been that way now since September of 2019. It is now December of 2020. It's been a crazy year anyway, so why don't we drink some multi-month-old dairy product? It smells good. I got the fancy glass out. I have never in my life consumed a 15 or 16 month old dairy product. So let's see how that goes. Oh my, that is delicious. I feel as if I've been rewarded for my patience. When I first made this, I tasted it right then. It's pretty good, but it was actually crazy hot, as the whiskey would suggest, even with all the cream and milk and eggs and everything else in it. I had 3 of these mason jars initially. Over the next 4 months or 5 months or so, me and some friends drank through 2 of those bottles, and I kept this 1 jar to try and make it a year. And not only did I make it a year, I've now made it a year plus. It is no longer hot. It is alcoholic for sure, but it's not hot from a proof standpoint like it was in the beginning. Believe it or not, with all that cream in there, that heat from that Rebel Yell whiskey just came through. I don't think Alton Brown expected somebody to weight the bourbon part heavier and use a high proof, relatively expensive $65 bottle of bourbon. So it's not his fault that it was kind of hot, but this is delicious. Very good. Cool. So if you want to try the eggnog recipe, I will put that somewhere. I don't know if I can put it in the notes of the video. If not, I'll put it on thepracticalstill.com and link it from the video if I can. It's an easy recipe to follow. Everybody that comments on that says that they've tried to wait, but they get a few months in, it's too good and they drink it. Rarely do they wait the year. I can tell you if you do wait a year, it is absolutely fabulous. It's the best eggnog I've ever had. And I made it with a recipe from a science-oriented person on the Food Network. So If you've ever made aged eggnog and hung on to it for a long time, let me know what you think in the comments. If you have any questions for us, any other crazy recipes you might want us to try, we'd be happy to give that a shot. So go to thepracticalstill.com, hit the ask button, fill out that form. We'll do our best to accommodate. And check out our podcast. We got a lot of changes coming for 2021. We got about 16 episodes up, and Dana and I have a good time doing that. So hopefully you'd enjoy that too. It's on all the major platforms. Just search The Practical Still. And Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa. Celebrate whatever you celebrate. Drink a little whiskey, maybe some eggnog. And we hope to talk to you in the new year. Cheers.